Galactic Travelers, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the premiere episode of Resonant Being. I'm your host, Galen Farrell, and in this first episode, I'm going to talk about resonance. What is resonance, and how is it a part of our lives? How can we manifest resonance and apply it to enrich our day-to-day interactions? Now, resonance is a fundamental physical principle that we find throughout the world. Most commonly, when we talk about resonance, we're talking about sound. We think of resonance in terms of music primarily. Common synonyms with resonance would be harmonics, reverberation. It's the feedback of sound, the growth of sound due to physical principles. But like sound, like harmonics, like resonance, in terms of sound, it also applies to our own lives, because within all matter, there's energy, and within all energy, there's matter. There's very little separation between what we would call matter and energy. Everything is resonating, even our thoughts, because our thoughts are detectable energy waves that are actually measurable scientifically. So, when we think of resonance in terms of our life and our social interactions, we can talk about how our thought energy, the wavelengths, the frequencies that we're putting out resonate with others. So resonance in terms of frequency and sound and energy, because sound, frequency, energy are all the same, works is that when you have wavelengths of corresponding amplitudes, corresponding frequencies, in music we'd call it octaves, and the notes of a scale within an octave, those wavelengths match up and create resonance that creates a larger amplitude of the waves. So when we think of amplitude and wavelengths of our thoughts, and we think of our interactions with others, when we're having a discourse that is not going well, when we're having an unpleasant interaction, it's quite synonymous, very similar to, very alike to the interaction of disharmonious wavelengths. Because when you have wavelengths that cannot sync with each other because their frequencies don't align, it causes a de-amplification. It cancels the waves out. And this is congruous with arguments in our lives, with negative thinking. When we think of people we get along with well, and people who we really feel happy around, that's what the amplification is. That is resonance. That is thinking in a certain way, especially when it's a positive way, and resonating with other people thinking in that same way. This can, of course, work with negative thoughts too. Negativity can resonate. What's important to notice here is that when you're in a pattern of negativity, of negative thought, the wavelength that you're going to be putting out is going to resonate with others in a like mind. So, not only does our negative thinking perpetuate more negative thinking within ourselves, but it amplifies negative thinking in others, creating more "no, I can't," "that's too hard," "I'm not good enough" type of attitudes in the world. It makes our own lives more difficult. It makes us less happy, less enjoyable to be around to people who enjoy themselves, who resonate in a positive way. The beauty of it is that this is something in our lives over which we have the choice. That doesn't mean it's easy, but we have the choice to embody the attitude that we want to. Unfortunately, it's easier to feel sorry for ourselves and be upset than it is to be positive, uplifting, energetic, a real go-getter, especially in the difficult situations of day-to-day life and in the larger picture of things. But we can choose, and just like a muscle, the more we exercise the conscious choice to have a particular pattern of thought and resonate in a certain way, the stronger we become in that way, the more attuned we become to that pitch, and the more naturally we are able to behave in that type of way. So, if this is news to you, that it's your choice to feel the way that you want to feel, I welcome you to try it. It's your life. It's my life. It takes a lot of practice. I'm working on it myself. And I urge the point that there's not a better thing one could do. In the next video, I'm going to talk about narrative, how our narrative perpetuates our circumstance, and what is our cultural narrative that's underwriting the current of our lives. So, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, be well. This is Resonant Being.